Hey again, it's time for lesson 62. Shall we? Forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. It is your forgiveness that will bring the world of darkness to light. It is your forgiveness that lets you recognize the light in which you see. Forgiveness is the demonstration that you are the light of the world. Through your forgiveness does the truth about yourself return to your memory. Therefore, in your forgiveness lies your salvation. Guys, and I can't agree with this more. It is so true. When you find forgiveness for mistakes you've made, for things other people have supposedly done to you, when you can let those things go and truly forgive them, your world lightens. You feel lighter, but you also feel brighter in that sense of light. And as that happens, as I've mentioned before, the world you see, the perception you have of those around you changes. You don't see people as these, jerks who are looking to screw you over in some way. No, you realize that, one, like I've said before, we're all just doing the best we can, and some of us make mistakes. Most of us make mistakes. Okay, we all make mistakes. And through our forgiveness, we can let those people be free of their mistakes and also allow ourselves to connect with people in a different way, in a pure, loving way. All right. Illusions about yourself and the world are one. That is why all forgiveness is a gift to yourself. Your goal is to find out who you are, having denied your identity by attacking creation and its creator. Now you are learning how to remember the truth. For this attack must be replaced by forgiveness, so that thoughts of life may replace thoughts of death. So we're trying to figure out who we are. We have created this identity of who we think we are based on so many things. A lot of them are misconceptions and false perceptions. And it's what we think society wants us to be, or what we think our parents want us to be, or what we think of is cool, and it's not necessarily us, or we're doing something simply because we want the security of a job, having health insurance and a paycheck, which there's nothing wrong with that, but you may be unhappy because you don't feel like you're being your true self, and maybe you're not even sure who your true self is. So in order to get to that point where we are the purest essence of who we are, we have to forgive. We have to forgive everything, and we have to let go of looking for validation from people outside of ourselves, of looking for approval from our parents. I mean, people who are still worried about what their parents think of them. Now, of course, you want to honor your mother and father. Of course, you want to make them proud. But at the same time, your life is your life. Their life is their life. And how they chose to live it is their choice. And how you choose to live your life is your choice. Right? So when we can let go of all these preconceived notions about who we're supposed to be or how we're supposed to be, and we're allowed to really just figure out at our core who we are, void of all fear, worry, doubt, insecurity, then we're able to really blossom and become us, whoever that is, whoever it always was. All right? Remember that in every attack, you call upon your own weakness, while each time you forgive, you call upon the strength of Christ in you. And that's the truth. Like I was saying the other day when my sister was bringing up something stupid I had done, and I got pissed that she wouldn't let it go, and so then I attacked her for bringing it up. Then she attacked me, and it made me look weak. It made me look like this petty little child, and I was being that in the moment. That's how I was at that moment. That's how I was behaving. But when we can find forgiveness, we're buoyed by that love from within, the strength of Christ, or whatever you want to call it. Do you not then begin to understand what forgiveness will do for you? It will remove all sense of weakness, strain, and fatigue from your mind. It will take away all fear and guilt and pain. It will restore the invulnerability and power God gave His Son to your awareness. Let me read that last one. It will restore the invulnerability. No more vulnerability. And power God gave his son to your awareness. Guys, this is huge. And I keep bringing up forgiveness because it is paramount. It is the apex of what we're doing. Well, maybe not. It's getting to the apex. But forgiveness will change your life. All right. Let us be glad to begin and end this day by practicing today's idea and to use it as frequently as possible throughout the day. It will help to make the day as happy for you as God wants you to be. God wants you to be happy. He does not want you to be miserable. Do you know people out there who thought that, for example, I was married once, and I thought that that would haunt me as far as not being in a marriage anymore and having had one and it not work out. I thought that that was going to define me. And it will, if you let it. There are plenty of people out there who carry this weight of being a divorcee, and that is their identity. They can't seem to forgive themselves for getting into a relationship they shouldn't have gotten into in the first place, or they can't seem to forgive themselves for not finding a way to make it work with that person, or they can't seem to forgive themselves for not letting it go. And when a person walks around with that weight on them as a label of who they are, it dictates their life, and it is miserable. So I thought when I was no longer in this relationship, the marriage, that nobody would want to date me because I'd been in a marriage and it didn't work out, and that I was somehow tainted, which I think probably could have been true for me if I chose to continue to believe that as my truth. But I had a wonderful therapist that helped me reframe the way I was thinking, and I was able to let that go and just kind of put it in the past and move forward. And I can say that it doesn't define me. It is something that happened. It's something that I learned from. I learned a lot from. And I don't even regret really it happening, other than, there was some people involved that their feelings were hurt. My ex, for example, if we could have avoided that kind of pain, maybe that would have been better, but who knows? Maybe we're both better off because of it. So God doesn't want you to be miserable. He doesn't want you to be in a job just because, well, this is what God wants and you are really unhappy. No, God does not want you to be unhappy. We're supposed to be happy. How can your love shine and your light shine forth if you're unhappy and miserable? It can't. So our job is to find our happiness, find a way to be in a place of peace and love and joy, which is what God wants. And a big, huge first step towards doing that is finding the forgiveness for yourself and those around you, and it comes from within. Feeling daunted or not sure you can do it? Ask your higher self for help. It will come. Okay. And it will help those around you as well as those who seem to be far away in space and time to share this happiness with you. As often as you can, closing your eyes if possible, say to yourself today, forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. I would fulfill my function that I may be happy. Then devote a minute or two to considering your function and the happiness and release it will bring you. Let related thoughts come freely, for your heart will recognize these words, and in your mind is the awareness they are true. Should your attention wander, repeat the idea and add, I would remember this because I want to be happy. Do you? Do you want to be happy? Because sometimes I feel like I am enjoying my miserable ways and I just want to crawl into bed and be cranky. Okay, fine. But nothing's going to save you but yourself. Nothing's going to dig you into a hole but yourself. So remember that you want to be happy. When it comes down to it, we do. We want to be happy. And we don't necessarily know what that looks like, or if that's a certain job or a certain relationship or no job or no relationship. We don't know exactly. But if we can get through and forgive and be in a place of light and joy, then we are better able to figure out what will make us happy in that moment. And it's a moment-by-moment thing. So, forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. Have fun. Go on an adventure looking for ways to forgive. And as soon as you see a moment where you are upset, try to forgive right then. Someone cuts you off and you're driving along the road and it makes you mad that they cut you off. Try to forgive right then. And also, I like to say, especially when I was beginning this, I would say, I forgive them for cutting me off, and I forgive myself for any time I have cut somebody else off. Because inevitably, you've done it too. We've all done it, right? Maybe on purpose, and sometimes on accident, and sometimes because we're just in such a hurry, we just need to get somewhere. So have a little compassion. The compassion comes from forgiveness. All right, enjoy.